Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video. And in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about how to regain your confidence after a breakup. So this is something that everybody can struggle with after they go through a breakup or a change in their relationships. And it's just their ability to feel like they're rooted in themselves, they're feeling confident again. And part of the reason for this is that when we go through a breakup, our subconscious mind has usually attached so deeply to the person we were with that at a subconscious level, we actually feel like that person's a part of our own identity. And so when there's a disconnect, we can go through a bit of an identity crisis, especially after very long relationships. And so it's normal to feel a little bit shaken up and a little bit confused and a little out of sorts and out of your element. But there's 6 key tools that we can use to really create progress in these different areas. So the very first one that's very helpful for this is to list all of the reasons the relationship didn't work out, other than those things having to do with you as a person at your core. So for example, we often go down the rabbit hole of like, oh, it didn't work because I wasn't good enough, because I wasn't lovable enough, because I failed at XYZ. Instead of making it about that and personalizing things based on our own pre-conditioned wounds, usually is where these things come from. Start by going through what wasn't working in the relationship dynamic instead, all the reasons. So for example, communication wasn't working between us. Neither of us were able to make proper compromises to close the gap between our differences. We wanted different things. We had different needs. We had different schedules. We had communication challenges around working through fights and arguments. We didn't know how to validate each other's feelings. We had totally different attachment styles, and Bob wasn't willing to do the work. Like put all of those things together and write those out and remind yourself of those things, because when we don't do that, the mind quickly moves towards personalizing things based on our own wounds and our own core programs that we need to actually work on reprogramming so we can heal ourselves from. Number 2, focus on things that bring you joy. So we all have a space that we feel like we thrive. For some people, it's like being out in nature. For some people, it's going out with friends and family and laughing and having social time and connection. For some people, it's health and fitness and exercising and going to the gym. For some people, it's spirituality. For some people, it's personal growth and development. Like we all have a couple key places that if we pay attention to ourselves, we thrive in those arenas. And the more we can align ourselves with those things, even when it can be difficult, because we're like, we feel down and we just don't want to do much of anything, we can force ourselves to be in our element and the things that put us in our element. You'll see that our best self actually comes from these arenas and being in these places where we do thrive, because they're usually things that are deeply in alignment with our subconscious personality needs. And when we are in this situation of being in our alignment, this is actually where we tend to be the most confident as well. So for some people, it might be art and painting. If you're doing those things, that's usually a place of like confidence, flow, joy, things that boost you and bring you up. Number 3, and by the way, if you're working on like healing from a breakup and you want to do a much deeper dive into how to heal from a breakup, I have a really in-depth, super helpful course on this that goes into a tremendous amount of detail. And you can actually check it out for free for 7 days by clicking the link in the description box below. And it will teach you the key points of healing from a breakup, all the things you need to know, all the things you want to work through. There's major pillars to heal from a breakup as well, if you want to go deeper. Anyways, we'll stay on the topic for today, which is how to regain confidence post-breakup. So number 3 is identify what your needs are that you were getting from that person in the relationship, and work to have other support systems in your life to meet those needs so you don't feel as much of a void, and that will help your self-esteem to stay equilibrated and at level and things like that as well. So very, very important dynamic. Number 4, and just to give you a specific example there, if it was like this person was meeting my need for emotional connection, okay, good. Make sure you have some people around that you can count on and rely on to bring that emotional connection need into your life. And also make sure that you show up to meet those needs in the relationship to yourself, because that is a huge part of growing, a huge part of healing. And feeling good about ourselves at the end of the day comes from those things. Number 4, have an excellent morning and evening routine with good self-care habits. The more you take care of yourself and the more you have a self-care plan, it's moving you towards a solution. And if you wake up every day with a purpose and a set of intentions for how you're going to best live your life, that is going to boost your confidence and self-esteem. Number 5, have strategies to challenge those dark rabbit holes of thought that we can go through, and even have like cognitive reframes and reminders. So if you're quick to go to like, oh, because I yelled at John or Bob or whoever it might be, that's why we didn't work out. That's why we broke up. And if I never did that one thing on that one day, if you notice that you have some of those dynamics, because they're very common for people after breakups, or if I only did X, Y, Z differently, have cognitive reframes for yourself. So things like, you know what, if Bob was willing to work with me through things, then he would have worked through that challenge because I wanted to do that too. And we could have worked through things together. So it's not just about me. And have like things that pull you out and to redirect your focus onto things that you can control right now. Very important factor for moving ahead and moving on. And number 6, have a routine where you actively validate your daily wins. The more you have the opportunity to like literally sit down and at the end of the day, write 3 things you're proud of, 3 things you did today, 3 ways you showed up today, a nice conversation you had with a coworker, something nice that you did for a friend, that you actually embarked on a self-care activity and strategy for the day, whatever it might be, the more you do those things to validate your daily wins, the more transformation you're going to see in terms of regaining your confidence after everything you've just been through. So hopefully that makes a whole lot of sense. Again, if you want to try that course out for free for how to heal from a breakup, it's an excellent resource for supporting you. And you can click the link below. Gives you access to all of our different courses for 7 days. And it's the How to Heal from a Breakup course. If you enter into the dashboard and search that in the search function, you will see that come up and you can do a deep dive. You can print off the workbook. You've got all those supportive tools and resources for you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.